how is it going to be if the electricity will not be available for you in your city? And let's say 3 days, are you able to do the same activities that you usually do every day? Thank you so much for listening to Urbanistica podcast. I am Mustafa Sherif, an urban planner, and you're more than welcome to join my big journey of exploring the making of smarter and more livable cities. Please don't forget to follow Urbanistica on the different social media platforms, and also let's connect on LinkedIn. Big thanks to Urbanistica podcast partner AFRY. AFRY is an international engineering and design company providing sustainable solutions in the fields of energy, industry, and infrastructure. Are you ready for a new episode? Let's go for it. Hey, thank you so much for listening to this episode. And today I wanted to share something with you. It's gonna be a quickie episode, and it's only me talking in this episode. So I hope you will enjoy it. Yesterday, I wanted to go to my job and take the train, but suddenly the electricity just went off and nothing was working at this train station. It was completely dark. I started to think about what happened if our city lose the electricity. I know and I hope that all the energy departments, they have a plan B for such situation. Even in that train station yesterday, it was just 5 minutes until we get back all the electricity and the train started to run again. But I started to create some scenarios about what happened if we lose electricity. I made a scenario based on my own daily life, and I will share it with you. And hopefully, I would love that you also imagine what happened if the electricity just goes off from your city and there will not be electricity. How is it going to be? So, if I imagine my day without electricity, I wake up in the morning, I try to use the water. Water is fine. Water is running here, and I will talk from my life here in Sweden. So yeah, I can wash my face, put clothes on. I cannot take the train to my work, but instead I can take the bus that is not running by electricity. I go to my office, but I cannot enter it because here I need a special access card to enter it. And if the system is not working, so unfortunately I can't get inside. It depends. Maybe there were people from the last night and inside, so they can open the door. Otherwise, I cannot do that. And maybe I wait for somebody to open it with a key. The buildings, the guards. Let's say that I could get inside the building, and I open my laptop. My laptop is just 2 hours of charge, and after that, it's not really running, and there's nothing that I can charge it with. So yeah, let's say I start with 2 hours and I cannot really work because I need to connect my laptop to the Wi-Fi, download the maps, work on them, and do the urban planning. And if there is no electricity, there's no Wi-Fi, so I cannot really work. I will do something else instead. Yeah, and after that, I go back home. At home, I cannot cook food because the stove is working also or running by electricity. So there will be not really fresh cooked food. I need to eat something from the fridge. I open the fridge, it's dark, it's not really working. I take something from the fridge. If I have, then I close the fridge to keep it cold as possible. I eat and then I go to sleep because, I cannot watch TV or my laptop is already dead. And I will decide to not really use my phone so much because I will save the battery. And also I have this power bank that I can charge my phone 2 times, so I will save it. My scenario is based that, okay, we don't have electricity for 3 days, not 1 day or 2, no, but let's say 3 days. So next day in the morning, I cannot work with my laptop. With my laptop, I go to do grocery instead. I go to the food market, buy something. If here, almost like we need to pay the cashier. It's not like you pay a person. You need to pay to the cashier, and you need to give the money to the person, and the person put it on the system on the cashier. And if there is no electricity, so there is no system working. And from my side, I use only my MasterCard, not so much cash. And now I remember my dad is always telling me that keep some cash in your wallet. You're gonna need it someday. And I never do that. And I hope he's not listening to this episode. Sorry, Dad. So no cash, and then means that I cannot really buy. I can try to send money from the bank application that I have on my phone, but not sure if they can get it or receive it, because usually the company, they don't have such a service that you can send money to a grocery market and you buy like this. So maybe I will come back with no food. And also I was thinking what happened, because here in Sweden we import more than 60% of our food, our daily food, from other countries, and we store some of it in the big fridges, like freezing rooms, and the other already put it on the market. But what happened if the food that in the this freezed room to keep it cold for the next day is not? These rooms are locked by big doors, like by a system, not really by a key. What happens if we lose electricity? Then we cannot maybe really open it. Or maybe we can do it by a key. But imagine if we cannot open it with a key, then a huge amount of food are just going to be thrown away. Yep. So I come back home, cannot cook food, cannot work, cannot watch anything on TV, cannot do podcast. I can read book. I can do some sketches. So it's almost like back to the old time before all these small machines that we use, laptop, phone, PlayStation, podcasting. It's going to be a bit dark, or too dark, especially here in Sweden. Now it's almost winter. So the sun sets around 3 p.m. It's going to be completely dark, and it's going to be a bit scary. I'm thinking also what happened with the airport, what happened with different import and export, or from the logistics point of view. Yeah, and I don't want to go deeper. I just wanted to share this with you. So in 3 days, it's going to be very tough. I will not be able to work. I will not be able to cook food, not be able to buy food as well. Transportation is only buses or biking or driving car, but I don't do that. And also communication, I think I will survive because I have the power bank and I can call people around and so on. So it's not so much that I will be able to do it during these 3 days. So the city gonna be a bit dark. This is my reflection, and I also want you to reflect about how is it gonna be if the electricity will not be available for you in your city. And let's say 3 days, are you able to do the same activities that you usually do every day? And if yes, how? If no, how many of these activities you will not be able to do? And so on. I wish that it was kind of eye-opener for you, and hopefully our cities have a big backup and B and C when the electricity goes off. Yeah, thank you so much again for listening. Keep up the good work. Keep loving cities. Well, thank you so much for listening to Urbanistica podcast. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. You learned something new and also got inspired by the guest. Don't forget to share the episode on your social media and recommend it to people you think they are really interested in this topic. Thank you so much again for giving your valuable time to Urbanistica podcast. I am Mustafa Sherif. Keep up the good work. Keep loving cities.